Why can't we contemplate peace? Why can't we find prosperity and the ability to share the resources of this planet? No one owns it. I can't find any message of love, any message of hope today. There's no unifying message out there. It's all division. And if this is a higher power, I don't understand it. If this is higher intelligence, wow. And if it's not, then what the hell are we doing? Is this the pinnacle of our brilliance? If this is a higher power, I don't understand it. If this is higher intelligence, wow. That God instructed them to cut the fetuses out of the pregnant women and then bash the skulls of the fetuses against the stone.
Yeah.
That's abortion.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the God of the Bible? This is the Father God? No, something's messed up. I mean, I'm just going, wait a minute, time out, wait a minute. So you've got this God, and now you're telling me they got the Jew on the stick here, and that this is going to be my answer to salvation. What?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah, no, I can, actually, when I know we have been conditioned to think that it has always been that way as long as I can think. Yeah. So Old Testament, New Testament. I wonder if these two books even belong together.
They do not. And it's interesting you say that, because the Vatican, this Pope right now, who is the Black Pope, he is the anti-Pope, they're actually talking about convening the cardinals, having, what is it, the council, to separate, because the jig is up. You got people like you and I talking about and going, now wait a minute, you can't have this God that is this bloody murderous maniac telling me now all of a sudden I'm hearing angels, and the little harp and the little flute thing, and oh, hail Jesus. And, didn't Jesus say, though, in the book of Matthew, I did not come to bring peace, but to bring division and to bring war, to separate mother and father? Yeah. Something's up, man. That's something right. That's all I'm going to tell you. And I know I don't know how long you want to go on this, but it comes back to this. Wait a minute, this can't be the God of peace and love. We must be worshiping the God of war. So who are we really worshiping here?
Yeah.
I can't see anywhere on earth where this conflict hasn't been ever present. And you think about it, for the first 1,000 years of the New Age, supposedly, was ruled primarily, the Western world was by the church.
Mm.
And that influenced how it completely eradicated. As I tell people all the time, the Christian church is a pagan church. It killed the pagans and took their religion. It killed my ancestors. And, today we can't find peace. We can't find anything to unify us. I mean, hell, I found out that not only did I have this religion that had everything with this, you get involved with politics. I mean, now that's black magic. Religion and politics, you want to talk about occultism, there it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, to me, it appears that all these gods that we read about in whatever text, there is, there is interaction. There is, I don't think it is all just fantasy and made up. So that means there was probably a being or many beings running around, 2 legs, 2 arms, a head, speaking, eating. Yeah, the angels ate with Sarah slaughtered the what was it? Was it the bull or whatever, when the angels came to visit? Yeah, what do you mean the angels sat down and ate with you? For for that you
Apparently,
need,
they were identifiable enough that people wanted to
yeah,
have sex with them.
yeah,
That's a weird one. If we've been on this planet for 10,000 years, let's just say, well, if we started out with an IQ of 100, and if even with an IQ of 1, within 10,000 years, we all should be freaking geniuses. But we're not. We're regressing. I'm more afraid of my birth than I'm afraid of my death, because I know that the birth was going to be a one-way ticket. So I find death to be the opposite of that, that if this entry was so painful, that's going to be orgasmic going out.
mhm, mhm, yeah,
Because it's dark. The subject in itself is just dark. And it's painful to talk about it. But I don't want to come back. Be candid with you. I thought my adolescence sucked. You know, no, no, no. I'm ready to be free, as they would say. I'm ready to go commando. My belief is this, Judith, is that this thing that we call God, we know its character is more childlike than anything else. I mean, it claims that it's a jealous, vengeful God. I mean, if you're God, what do you got to be jealous of? And if you're God, a God of love, why do you have vengeance? What pissed you off? I mean, humanity has been a victim in this. I think we're dealing with beings that are not so much higher intelligence because they have tempers. They certainly don't have any problem killing us. You know, you step back and you're going, well, something's wrong here. That can't be the epitome of higher intelligence.
I'm not a fan of Baal.
I'm not a fan of Yahweh.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of a lot of all the deities.
I'm right there with you. In fact, I have said that so many times. I'm fed up with it. You know, I don't really care if you're telling me that your God is perfect and that your God has this to say and your God has that. That's fine. That's your God. It's not mine. I've studied enough of the occult. I certainly studied enough of Christianity and a pretty good dose of Judaism on top of that to have a full understanding of this deity that I worshipped blindly. But I never did the background check, Judith. I never checked its credentials. And what I found myself coming out of was that I don't like any of them. Apparently they're involved in an entanglement, in a battle that predates us. I don't know how many, how long. I think humanity is a victim here. I mean, it's the question about evil. Is evil a presence? Is it a force? Or is it inherent to just what we are?
I think it's a force. I think it is very real.
As a force? Well, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So
how would you define that force? It's interesting because I meditate on this a lot. So evil, how do we define evil? Well, in my meditations, as I look at it, I've been taught to define evil by a set of principles that represent a particular thought, a thought of particular associated, tied to a deity. And so everything that I perceive as evil, I was meditating and was really deep in meditation, and this thought entered into my mind was that, is there something above good and evil? As we look at ourselves, I mean, are we involved in a conflict that is of something that is supposed to be of a higher intelligence? And if it's a higher intelligence, if this is a higher intelligence, then why can't they resolve their differences? I mean, we look at ourselves, we know that humans we're basically animals. I mean, that's what we are. We're in the animal kingdom. We're in the animal tree. And so we have an excuse. But I look at these gods, they seem to be flawed from the very beginning. They have conflict. I mean, if you're a perfect God, why would you have anyone that would be against you? It doesn't make sense. And if you're telling me that they're smarter, immortal, then it tells me something's wrong here. This conflict never seems to end. And it's humanity who pays the price. We pay the price in our own blood. We hurt each other, we enslave each other, and it seems to be the game here. It's like, we have elitism. There's a law for me and there's a law for you. That kind of logic means that then the universe is in chaos and is about to go completely kaboom. And so it comes back down to where we can't seem to figure it out. Our religion has failed us. And that's why I walked away from Christianity. 2,000 years that this belief system has been around. But all during that time, I can't see a period of time, Judith, when man was ever an extended period of peace. It's always been war. Always. But this force permeates everything, and it imprints itself upon everything that is done in this realm. It seems like we're being subservient to a set of gods. Is there the ability to rise above that? But something's wrong here, and it's not just me. I've been saying it on my channel for years. Something is wrong here. This thing that we worship, It can't be what we're being told. We're being allured into this trap that says it's all about love and unity, but the whole thing is all about dividing.
Yeah. And there is another thing.
Solomon worshipped Baal. So I wonder what the wisest man supposedly on the planet, what did he know? What was so lacking that he had to go to the extreme over into Baal worship? Judith, I can't have anyone answer me a question. Why does God want worshipers?
Yeah.
Someone on the pastoral staff was having sex with somebody else's husband or somebody else's wife. And I found that in virtually every church I ever visited and seen it, and it's just weird. It puzzles me that this God loved the smell of burnt flesh.
Yeah.
You realize that, these gods that we've believed in and that, people sacrifice their lives to, they're not who they say they are.
Yeah. I think there is a lot of Baal worship here. People are willing to sacrifice their sons to the war god. This politician says, now you are going to war, and it's sending all the little soldiers out. Yeah, we are willing to accept that because usually we might think that this politician is better and to be preferred over the other. I mean, which is so ridiculous.
We have a president that is hell-bent on sacrificing humans. Yeah. And I got to ask myself, who's driving this? Because to me, this is evil. It's unnecessary, doesn't need to happen, should never happen. But yet it seems like everyone's focusing in the power structure to make it happen. That's evil to me. I don't know why another human would ever contemplate that. Why can't we contemplate peace? Why can't we find prosperity and the ability to share the resources of this planet? No one owns it. Yeah. It saddens me, Judy. That's what it does. It saddens me because it's like I can't find any message of love, any message of hope today. There's no unifying message out there. It's all division. And if this is a higher power, I don't understand it. If this is higher intelligence, wow,